So now that we've talked about why it is so important that we talk about gender, let's get on the same page with some vocabulary. Some of these words may be new to you, some of them may be not so new. Either way, we're glad that you're here and ready to learn. Keep an open mind. Now, our first term is called biological sex. The root word of this is obviously biology. However, your biological sex has little to do with biology and a lot to do with your physical appearance when you're born. So essentially, this means when the doctor or the doula or the midwife pulls a baby out, they will look between that baby's legs and say either it's a boy, especially if their genitals look like the picture that's on the right. Or they'll say it's a girl, especially if that baby's genitals looks like the picture on the left. However, some babies are born with genitals that look like these pictures in the middle. Those babies are born intersex. Some doctors will perform corrective surgery on intersex babies. However, most of those surgeries are totally medically unnecessary, and intersex babies are totally healthy. So, in time, we have decided that we don't use the term biological sex anymore. Instead, we use the term sex assigned at birth, because that's really what it is. It's just what a doctor or a doula or a midwife tells you about your genitals. That's it. Now, gender identity, on the other hand, is way more important. This has to do with how you identify. This is what you think about yourself when you look in the mirror. So, what are some other things that you identify as? Maybe you identify as an 8th grader. Maybe you identify as a soccer player. Maybe you identify as a boy. Maybe you identify as a girl. The important thing is that you came up with that identity and it feels right to you. No one else is telling you what you should or should not identify as. Now, there are lots of different gender identities. Like we've already named, some people identify as a boy, some identify as a girl, and some people don't identify as either. Some people are more fluid and they change their gender identity depending on the day and how they're feeling that day. Some people identify as gender non-binary, gender queer, gender fluid. All of these identities are perfectly normal and totally okay. Now I have a question for you. What is it called if a person is born with a vulva and a vagina and identifies as a woman? Or what is it called if a person is born with a penis and they identify as a man? That's right, it's called cisgender. Cis is the prefix that means same. Trans, on the other hand, means across. Like the Transcontinental Railroad went across the continent. So, if a person is born with a vulva and a vagina and later in life identifies as a man, that person is transgender. If a person is born with a penis and identifies as a woman, that person is transgender. There's nothing wrong with being transgender. Diversity is one of the things that makes this world beautiful. It's also really important that we respect people and respect their chosen and preferred pronouns and their chosen and preferred names. There's no reason to call people by names that they do not want to be called or use pronouns that they've asked you not to use. For example, I use she, her pronouns, and I identify as a cisgender woman. All right, next we have gender expression. Gender expression is all about how you express yourself. This might have to do with how you wear your hair. This might have to do with how you wear your makeup or no makeup. This might have to do with the sports that you play, the cars you want to drive, the jobs that you want to do. All of these things have to do with how you express your gender outwardly. Now, lots of people identify as a man and they dress more masculine. Lots of people identify as a woman and dress more feminine. However, tons of women dress masculine and tons of men dress feminine. It's totally normal to express yourself the way that you want to. And nobody should have any reason to make fun of you for how you choose to express yourself. Now, what is androgynous? I'm sure you're thinking. Well, think about a famous Minnesota superstar. You're right, Prince. Prince was super androgynous. He would wear tight pants, like thigh-high, high-heel boots, and ruffles, would slick his hair back, heavy eyeliner, and high cheekbones. He was an androgynous dude. Androgynous essentially means neither masculine nor feminine, or maybe oscillating between the two. Last but not least, we have attraction to others. Now, it's important to remember that your attraction to others has nothing to do with your gender. Your gender and your sexuality, totally separate, totally different. Okay, I know that's a lot. Take a big deep breath, pat yourself on the back, say, good job, you, because that was a lot. But all of the things that I just went over, the most important thing that I need you to remember is to respect other people. That's it. Just respect other people. You don't need to agree with them. You don't even really need to understand them. But you can be non-judgmental and you can be kind.